Hi, Bill Henshaw again with one of my YouTube videos. This one isn't particularly current events, although it is an ongoing matter, and I'm addressing it to a specific audience, which I don't very often do. But trust me, it'd be a valuable message for all of the listeners out there. Check it out what I'm going to be saying. It's the hashtag Free Britney Spears movement. And any of you that are serious out there and are aware of the situation where she's been in a conservatorship for like 14 odd years and wonder how that happened, I have a lot of answers, and anyone that wants to take a serious look at this and work with me to help take care of business here, and I can not only defeat the jurisdiction of the conservatorship court, I can destroy it, and I can do it a cappella and with a daunting amount of relevant, admissible, documentary evidence. Not only that, but these same issues are good across the board against these bastards in any one of their so-called courts, whether it's the quote unquote state of California, whether it's a federal district court, you name it. There are no judicial courts. And I can dead bang prove that one too. I don't say it if I can't prove it. And it's not me saying it. Most of what I use comes from the U.S. Supreme Court and early authorities on the Constitution, like story on the Constitution, Justice Joseph Story, who's in my top 5 justices all time. And that's one of the reasons for it. Going back to the original intent, how the hell did we get away from all of this good stuff? No one's saying it was perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than what we have now. And once we get back there, we can start doing things consistent with the Constitution to make it better, not an utter contravention like the damn 14th War Amendment, which, if you don't know, and by the way, you get my materials, constitutional defense document packets. I got a brief that you file on the trial court on the 14th Amendment. The ratification with a capital RAT violated all 6 articles of the Constitution, hands down. You'll learn that the Supreme Court ruled it unconstitutional at the time, and we're still stuck 150 years later. But you'll come to learn why that is, and wish that they told you the same thing in ninth grade civics and 10th grade U.S. history that I was never taught either about all this. If I had been, my life would have been different that long ago. They don't teach you in the mandatory public education system. That's my job now. I'll do it, and you're going to love every bit of it. And what you do is you use the materials to teach your children and their children, your posterity, to help them get out from under and do it a lot easier and quicker than anyone else will be able to do it until they learn what it is I have to say and what I've learned over the course of 5 decades. So yeah, here we go. So if we want to take it seriously and not just talk about it and have it show up on the celebrity pages and all that, I think I can make a big difference there. Jurisdiction and venue. Now, question that you might have right from the beginning is, would I have any status and standing? That's a fair question. I think for the reasons that you'll see that I use and the issues that I use, I do have standing because I'm a member of the sovereign body politic of the nation and republic, otherwise known as a lawful de jure jus sanguinis state citizen. As such, not only do I have standing, I would very arguably have the duty to see that the laws are faithfully executed, particularly in that the territorial governor, these days, Gavin Gruesome, doesn't have a clue that he has a duty like that. And yet it can't be any clearer in Article 2, Section 5, I think it is, of the California Constitution, 1849, not the one you think, Gavin, that you do have that obligation. And part of that obligation cannot possibly be to confuse at least state citizens with artificial corporate entities. Because the purpose of that amendment was to make corporations citizens. They couldn't care less about the free men. See you later. That was publicity only to get the damn thing passed. Had they said the real intent of that amendment, and it was also to do away with the states admitted into disunion, and that one is the crown jewel of all the unopposed issues I advocate. This is how you start beating the bastards. Not to mention the fact that they can't define dollar, no judicial courts, no elections, no Republican form of government. I mean, you name it. We have so many issues, and across the board, not just for Britney Spears, but for everyone else. and outside the scope of conservatorship too. This is across the board. So send me email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. I'll send you information on the materials I have and what I'm doing, and we'll see if we can't work together and make some real progress here and get things done, which typically, by the way, is not what a lot of advocates want to do. The NRA, for example, is not your friend. All they think is it's a Second Amendment issue, and I can prove a cappella off the top of my head the Bill of Rights doesn't apply to the states. These bastards should have known that, and the Supreme Court ruled on it 140 years ago. Pressure v. Illinois. Why don't you people wake up at the NRA? Civil rights, quote unquote, is even worse, Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. The bastards have been in power on the backs of your own people for 40 odd years with no intention of making their lives any better. All you want is the money, power, and payoff behind the scenes that goes along with it. Stop it already. Quit, divide, and conquer. All of us need to work together. Americans, Africans, Asians present the right issues with the right status, and we're going to get a hell of a lot more done that way and put these other people out of business. You won't need civil rights leaders of the NRA anymore. Once we get our rights back, they're out of business. See you later and good riddance. Simple as that. And that's what I feel about the situation with Britney Spears, too. Now, I'm not particularly a big fan of hers, but that's neither here nor there. The bottom line is that she's been subjected to a jurisdiction that the court did not have to exercise. All of the official actors knew or should have known that to be true, and they should have known from day one, and they did it anyway. And for me, what that breaks down to later in any offensive action, and I've got a really nifty way to handle this, and I'll tell you all about that. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. What happens is you get into a strict liability action for acts of treason to the Constitution. And it's not me saying it, it's the U.S. Supreme Court, for crying out loud. I don't make this stuff up. Well, I wish I were that good, but I don't do that. I rely on things that are already in the books. We just have to go back there, get them, understand them, and put them back into use. We start doing that, and the quicker we do, and across the board, as I said, Americans, Africans, Asians, we all make the same arguments and come together and get rid of this divide and conquer crap. We'll get there even quicker. So any of you seriously connected with the hashtag Free Britney, check it out. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. I'll tell you exactly what I have in mind, and we can go from there. Meanwhile, like the video, subscribe, tell your friends, get the word out. The quicker we start doing this, the quicker we get our lives, our property, and our rights back. Thank you.